Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. First ever vlog. So lots of footage shot over approximately 2 weeks, in between going to work, in between going to the allotment, in between making bait. So just my little sort of run up to catching my first fish of the year. So the lake in question, 42 acres, basically sort of in 3 parts. So it does have a deep area, probably averages 9-10 foot in one area, and then a shallow area 4-5 foot, and maybe a little bit deeper at the moment because it's got a bit extra water in from all the rain, and then a third area which I would say averages 7-8 foot. So it is my local water. Look, I'm trying to work out exactly how long I'd fished it for, so I think it'll probably be about 26 years. Hasn't always had lots of carp in, or carp. It started off with 2 carp in, so obviously I used to fish it in matches for roach, and then it got stopped in a bream. He did a lot of bream fishing, and then obviously it developed over to carp fishing. So yeah, fished it a long time, seen it in when they used to treat the weed. Now they don't treat the weed. So just my methods developed over the years. Obviously last year I fished it quite a lot. Due to lockdown and not being in the syndicate. Previous years, off and on, it has been a good 5-6 years since I fished it hard. Generally fish the matches if I can, if I'm available. So obviously the way we are at the minute with the pandemic, we'll be fishing it again a lot this year. So we will be dodging and diving, ducking and weaving, as they say. Looking to get a bit bait in here and a bit bait in there, and obviously get up and see where the fish are. So anyway, it's my first attempt at a vlog. Obviously there's none of this sort of barra going past the camera, I get the camera, then the barra going away. There's none of that. It's literally when I could get the camera out. There's obviously it involves taking a bag of gear, so the way my ankle is, it's not, I try to carry as least amount of gear as possible. So have a look, see what you think. There's nothing magical in it, just probably a little bit of hard work, track them down and then catch them. Enjoy. Good morning. So out fishing, got here for 5:45, between 5:45 and 6 o'clock. Just getting light. There was another angler followed me into the car park. He looked like he was going to be fishing from the car park because he seemed to have a camper van, VW camper van, so maybe he's just fishing straight from his van. That would be my guess. Very foggy. 3 rods out. Probably took about 45 minutes to get round. Just getting light really, as had to use my super hat, put the baits on the hairs. So 3 rods already wrapped up from the last time. Now the last time the tufties hadn't found a bit bait that was in there. This time they definitely have, because I've just chased them off with an empty spom. So they wouldn't have getting everything because there's a lot of crushed boilie gone in there. So it did come up 2 days ago, and I put about 20 spoms. So obviously when I make bait, especially like those striped caterpillars and stuff like that, obviously the pop-up mixes in with the base mix, so you get a lot of waste. So I've kept that over the years in a container, and it got bigger and bigger, and I kept having to move it anyway, and decided to use it up. So I literally ran that through the Ridge Monkey boilie crusher. Just sort of added a couple of liquids to it, softened it up a bit because it was rock hard. So that went in about 20 spoms. And like I say, the birds have found it now. They hadn't last week, so, but obviously it's still there, otherwise they wouldn't be diving on it. So maybe the fish haven't been in. If we do hear anything, we will move straight away. There's been no indications. I have heard of somebody losing a fish. Haven't heard of any being caught yet, so we shall see. But I'll pan round and have a look at how foggy it is. Not much to see really. I'm just about make out the other side of the lake. Pretty sure that'll clear. So hopefully I'll see you again. And we've either got one or we've moved. Right guys, been fishing 2 hours now. Maybe some bubbles just off the right hand rod. So no indications yet, but time now to give it a couple of spoms. I don't have a problem. Even last year, I mean, every hour I put out a couple of spoms over my spot. And last year, in what, 4 or 5 foot of water, maybe 5 foot of water, literally the spom had just landed and one of the rods was away and it was right over the top of it. So definitely, like what they say, ringing the dinner bell gong. So like I say, I don't have a problem. A couple of spoms going out. Times I've set my timer on my watch, on my phone. So maybe every half an hour, 1 spom or 2 spoms. Just you know, making them, giving them something to hear, and as that food going in, it definitely works for me. So literally in between all 3 rods, just drop one in there. So probably set my timer now for half an hour. I've given them 2 hours. Thought I might have heard something to the right. Went round and there's a swan there, so wasn't sure. Didn't see any other ripples because it was flat calm. So I'll stick with this swim for now. I mean, it's had bait in it for over 2 weeks now. So are they visiting it? Have they even been here? Well, who knows. Catch you later. Spot time. As you can see, it's still a pea soup. Well, as you can see, it's still a bit foggy. We have heard 2 though. First one off to the right, so we're in the right place. And then one came a little bit head and shoulders out right in front of us, but maybe 10 yards, maybe 20 yards past the baited spot. So they are around, they are moving. Still spomming every straight in my eye, would you believe it? Still spomming every half an hour, just 2 spoms, and then it's just I'll show you. Obviously when I'm not here, the birds are obviously smashing it. So there is some big bits, not much left in here. So there was I know there's a bit of essential cell in there. Sticky baits krill, just basically all gone through the ridge monkey. So obviously there's no way the tufties are going to get that. Obviously there's a few there's some few whole cocoon baits that I'd made with a chocolate sort of base to it. They'd been sat there, so they've gone in the mix as well. So there was a few big bits there, but so we're back tomorrow anyway. But I've got a Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock, so I can't come early. So I'll be toddling along maybe at about 11 o'clock. So we'll see. Obviously it's going to give the tufties plenty of time to get out on there, but who's to say the tufties aren't good for showing the carp where there's food, so there you go. But I'll catch you shortly. Good morning, just morning. A bit of a late start this morning. Didn't get nothing yesterday. So there's actually, where I heard fish, there's two anglers over there. I think they're both piking as well. So I couldn't get out early this morning. Normally here first light. Had a Zoom meeting. A Microsoft Teams meeting to sort out. So I've done that this morning. I expected to see a tufty fest when I got here this morning, but lo and behold, no tufties. So I don't know what's going on there. So obviously there's plenty, should be still plenty down there for them to eat. So now the thing with this water is they have put 100 and odd little uns in. So they had a nice stock and go on of VS fisheries, sort of putting a few of them in every year, well, more than a few, doing really well. And then they went and put a load of 3 and 6 pounders in, so not sure what the thinking behind that was, but there you go. So but maybe if they've moved through here, they would have bloody wiped it out, wouldn't they? So I'm going to give it sort of half an hour and then stop my spomming every half an hour. See if I can wake a few up. Catch you in a bit. Okay, the end of day 2. Just a short day session. Haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything. There are a few anglers on today. Been in touch with a couple, they haven't seen anything either. It would be nice to see something so I could actually move. If not, I'm just going to stick with a baited spot. So unfortunately I'm going to have to do some work. So I'm actually off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so we'll fish then, make some baits, maybe have a wander around on Saturday. Probably be a few people fishing, so see how we go. Catch you in a bit. Right, welcome back to the quest of first fish of the season. So we got here 5 o'clock, we got up at 5 o'clock, made a cuppa and then we got down on the bank for about 5:30. What I can see, obviously it's a big place, but only angler. I did see somebody come on about 7:30 and basically seen 3 show now. I did have one on. So left hand rod went, big drop back, and at first I thought somebody was messing around behind us, playing a recording. Thought somebody snuck up on us and playing a recording of a bite alarm going off. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a bite alarm. And I looked at my bobbins and they all seemed to be sat still. What I hadn't realised was the left hand one had dropped so far back that it was out of sight. So I got up, had a little bit of investigation, and sure enough there was a massive drop back. So I picked up, sure enough there was fish on, and it kited left hard, and I'll pan round in a minute and show you the reeds that I've got on my left. So I ended up grabbing the landing net and going to the other side of the reed, sort of dragging it, scooping some line up, dragging it, scooping some line up, until eventually I had the fish in front of us. So it's coming in, and obviously first fish of the season, being really gentle, which I think was my downfall. So I got a couple of flashes of the fish, seen the swirls, and then lo and behold, off it came. So a bit disappointed. Checked the hook point was fine. It's just one of those things. Don't normally come off that rig very much, but I did have it on a helicopter setup with the bead pushed back, just because of not knowing what I was casting into. So I just wanted to make sure all 3 rods were fishing. So anyway, after that I did have a little one show right in front of the reeds, which is obviously not an unusual place, but hard to cast to. And then it showed again a few seconds later, a bit further out, so sort of put that left hand rod again back out in front of it, and it sat there the whole time. So pretty miserable this morning. That's why I haven't done any recording early doors. Basically got here and there was that like fine mist, where it's not really raining, but it's just like makes you really wet, to the point where I had to put the sort of bivvy or umbrella up. So going to be a much better day tomorrow, so I can get back again tomorrow. Hopefully I can get back in this swim tomorrow, so I'm going to get here a little bit earlier. I have found a little spot and I have put a few spombs of bait on it. So at the minute I'm just using sort of like loads of scrap baits that I've made over the years. I collected it all and basically put it through the Ridge Monkey grinder. So I've been grinding that up, so it's basically ground bait going out with a few baits in amongst. I've got some I found an old recipe I used years ago, this chocolate recipe. They were in salt, so I put them in as well. So basically I just got rid of loads of dead bait that I had, just taking up a full big container in the bait shed. So hopefully I've down to about 1 bag of that left now, so that gets rid of that, and obviously gives the fish a bit of protein. And I know I could smell some krill in there. There was all sorts gone in there. There was some grubs that I'd done, and I'd put too much hardener in. They were absolutely like little bricks, so they got ground up, and they got treated with some hydro liquid, and that's been going in. So I haven't got long left today. Like I say, I'm back again tomorrow. It will be early. Obviously every day from now on, the light's getting further and further back to probably where you can eventually getting down for 4 o'clock. And while it's days only, I love days only venues, maybe because so many people are just so lazy and they don't want to get down when it's first light. You can get down first light and they will be showing them saying, "Hi, we're over here," and I go, "Okay, I'm coming round." So, and I caught the last lockdown, I caught loads of fish like that. Just got down, stood, and it wouldn't be 5-10 minutes. Bosh. "Hi Martin, we're over here." Straight round on them. So, and like I say, you caught 2 or 3 fish, and then you see the next angler down. Maybe 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, come rolling down with a barra, and like they've missed the opportunity really. But such as carp fishing, obviously for me, always the amount of effort that you put in generally reaps rewards. If you're willing to look and go looking and baiting and things like that, it makes a massive difference. Obviously really hard to do on busy waters, but while they're quiet, sometimes it's a good way of sneaking fish out without anyone knowing, even sneaking bait in, clearing spots. If you can get a load of particle on some spots and get them cleared early doors in the season, chances are even when the weed comes up later on in the season, the weed's not going to be as bad in there. So things like that are really good. I created a bomb hole here one winter. Between September and November, just going up twice a week, not putting a lot in, about half a bucket, and it was before spombs, so I was spodding, and in the end I just had this hard surface ground out, and I remember going right up till November the 5th. It was fireworks night. It was a Saturday night, going back a few years now. Them 2 really bad winters we had, and I fished right up to them. I remember November the 5th I had 3 fish out, I had one about 10:30 at night, one in the middle of the night about 2 o'clock, and then I had another one at 7:30 in the morning. And then we got a really bad winter, and I just got a lid on it, and obviously that killed it. But even 2 years later, I was out in a boat over that spot. I was out in a kayak actually, and I was just going along, and I was just having a little look, and sure enough there was this round circle, and all the weed had come to the top, and it was just this round circle which just didn't have this type of weed, obviously because they'd obviously cleared all the silt out of it and created this hard surface. That particular weed just couldn't grow in that spot. There was weed on it, but low lying stuff. So anyway, lots of rumblings and ramblings, so but I will pick the camera up in a minute and show you what, because I am in a different swim from where I've been. So I stood for a while, and I was on my way to the other side, and I decided no, I'll come back here just to sit in the wind. Obviously I've got loads of water to look at, and I thought no, I'll see where they are, if they are enjoying the wind, because even though it's cold, sometimes it can be beneficial for the fish, as in it's a little bit warmer than what they've been used to, so they feel it a lot different to us. And obviously that definitely has happened, because there's definitely fish down here, and definitely a few fish. So in fact I'm really disappointed that the left hand rod hasn't gone again, so because there was a bigger fish showed a bit further out on the 3 shows that I've seen on a similar sort of line, and I did wind in and put a bait right on its head, literally. So but yeah, so if we don't get one today, I'm pretty confident of getting one tomorrow, because it's going to be a lot warmer, wind's changing to a westerly, so hopefully we'll get one tomorrow. Right, I'll pick the camera up and show you where I'm fishing. Right, so moved down the shallow end. So I have been fishing on that. Let me have a look. Yeah. So there's so we have been fishing there, which is basically in between the deep water and the shallow water. So now, because the wind's been blowing down here, I've moved down here. So 3 rods down there, and then fish showing on just off these reeds, and then another fish showing sort of out there. So definitely fish in this area and on that wind. So, but it's going to go westerly, which is going to be blown into this bank tomorrow. So we're going to try and get down nice and early and beat everyone down, which I'm pretty sure we will. But that's one they know as the Willow, and somebody's obviously been fishing it, because there was loads of tufties on it this morning, sort of out there, but they weren't there very long, so they'd obviously cleared the bait up. Yeah, that's a big old chunk of water. So yeah, when I got that fish on though, it kited around these reeds, so I had to grab the landing net and then go to the left hand side of them, a few steps at a time, and I was actually looking to land it over there, so on the end of them reeds, and it came off. Shame, but that's the scene. So what you can see here is about 2 quarters. Big old chunk of water, 42 acres, so they say, and I'm not going to argue. Alright, nearly time to leave, so just a few bombs just to leave a little bit. Obviously the bigger part of it's going to get eaten by the birds probably. Obviously a couple of hours it'll be dark, but lots of crumb. That's why I go for a ground bait sort of thing at this time of year. You know, you watch people come down putting loads of loads of boilie at this time of year. You know, really fishing single baits and finding them will do. But it's not quite warm enough up here anyway in the north for them. You know, obviously they will start roaming round. I think what happens definitely on this lake is as soon as we get some fine weather, the water temperature rises, so that obviously then triggers the fish to feed. Obviously nature's a bit behind, so all the invertebrates and the weed and things like that, they're a little bit slower to respond, so you end up with the carp just charging round looking for food, really hungry. Obviously they want to build up all their strength for spawning and that, so it does become quite an easy lake early spring, and then as the weed comes up and then after spawning it becomes quite hard, so all these new anglers turn up and catch a few and they think, oh, this is a great lake and all the rest of it, and then they slowly drift away as they continue blank after blank, because it becomes a lot harder then. So anyway, that's just my theory. So I'm going to give it another 20 minutes or so, and then hopefully back again tomorrow with some finer weather, and we'll see if we can get one out, if we can't finish one off today. But I think it's probably a bit too much bait out there for the find my hook bait now, but we'll see. Right, can't quite see it. A bit windy, so I don't know if this is going to come out very good, but so anyway, same peg, nobody on. So got down about 20 past 5, 3 rods out by about 6:15. A lot of small fish showing over the far side and look really small, so possibility to move on to them later. It has gone a bit quiet since the sun's come up, so we'll see how we go. Obviously there's been a bit bait in here, so hopefully they've had a munch on the night time, and obviously hopefully they remember that, and obviously I'm pretty sure they'll come in, graze, go away, and then hopefully they'll come back, and we've got some hook baits there now. Catch you in a bit. Biggest, but the first. I'm saying that, £15. Oh, well done. Well done, Mara. Well, hopefully you get some more. Alright, cheers. Take care out. Ta-ra. Right. Sunny, but the wind is absolutely freezing. But it's gone westerly. I didn't think it was that big, but I was quite surprised. £15. First one of the year. There you go. Yeah. White cocoon pop-up over some boilie crumb. Nice. Right, carnage. First fish of the year. Got to remember how to use the camera. Set the scales. I didn't, honestly, I thought it was £8 when it went in the net. So it just shows how good I am at guessing the fish weights. And after I've put it back, I've even checked the scales to make sure they were zeroed, but there were some, probably just a touch was hovering around 15, but maybe a touch under if it allowed it to settle, or it was on a tripod. So I knew I'd get one today, knew it. I mean, the wind's got up, but so has the sun, so got a bit of a sweat on actually. Yeah, so effort equals reward, as they say. So, and I think the first one's always the hardest. Number 2. Give it a quick wait, see what it's doing. Yes, so fish number 2. So, seen no shows. The wind's done exactly what the weatherman said, the Met Office app. So, we're going to blow a bit into that corner, which is what it's doing now. And then it's going to go a bit more westerly, blow straight into me. So I think we've took the right gamble. Obviously 2 fish, first fish of the year. There has been another fish caught over there where fish were showing this morning. Black called Stevie Allen, beat mine 15 and 8. Well, I just caught him up with another 15-8, I think. 15 and a half. I never bother them. There's no point. You obviously want a bit of an idea how they're growing if you can track them, but so yeah, well happy. So talk about the rig, which is basically a hinge rig. So it's the only pop-up rig I use. So this one, and I use them over and over again. So I will, it feels quite sharp, but I will give that a lick with a file. I'll sharpen the hook up. I'll put a new bait on. I will reshape it. But I'll make them in such a way that you can reuse them. So the lengths do change depending on the weed, but at the moment that's probably, I'd say, 12-inch boom. So I'll redo that now. So I've put that rod back out, put a spom on it, and then I put 3 down the middle. While I was doing that, there was fish showing directly in front of us, bigger fish as well, so looked like the same fish. Obviously this weather is really bringing them on today, so happy days. Right, hopefully more to come. Right, so when I was going through the footage, when I was just starting to put this together, obviously it didn't have an ending. I didn't know whether I was going to catch another fish or whatever, and obviously I was off away home, so just doing the little conclusion at the end now. So yeah, so probably 2.5, 3 weeks I would say, in between going to work, popping up, and obviously the finale, getting 2 fish on the Saturday. So well pleased with that. Obviously there are some bigger fish in, but there are some smaller fish as well, so quite pleased. 2 15-pound fish, probably one just maybe touch under 15, one 15 and a half, so well pleased with that. So yeah, first attempt. So obviously if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, that's great. Obviously we're looking for that magical 1,000 subscribers, and then we can obviously progress from there. Obviously if it gets lots of views and lots of likes, we'll carry on doing some little blogs on our little fishing adventures. I don't possess to be the greatest angler in the world, I think probably my hard work probably helps me out in that way, and common sense. So like I say, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, not too bad. So I've been Martin at Bespoke Baits, tight lines.